So today I wanted to share a little bit more of my process of trying to identify the self-centered thought in my mind. And some of the challenges and some of the suffering that occurs when I'm being fooled once again by it. And so one of the telltale signs for me, and this has been going on for decades, and I have tried very hard to work on it, and I've somewhat been successful, is I can tell when the self-centered thought is running the show when I find myself extremely oversensitive and defensive. And it's kind of it seems to be a contradiction on the surface, because the self-centered thought wants us to believe that we're the center of the universe. And so when you think about a center of the universe, it sounds somewhat infallible and self-confident and powerful and sort of, it's permanent, it's exists from its own side, it's just got a lot of power behind it. So it's kind of strange that a center of a universe would have an issue around defensiveness and oversensitivity. But for me, it's a very strong sign, and it comes in the form like this. I'm going about the Abbey doing a project. I'm very focused, I'm very engaged, I've got people helping me. And somebody will come along and say, why is it taking so long? Or they'll come up and they'll say, how did you come up with that idea? I mean, it's not like there are these open-ended questions that people will ask me to get information. There could be a question like, or can I give you a suggestion? Or I've got an idea. Now, if the self-centered thought isn't running the show, normally these things are actually invited because it gives someone a chance to explain what they're doing, to share some of their challenges and some of the ideas and whatever's come along. But when I am in my self-centered thought and somebody comes up to me and says, I thought you were going to do it this way, or why is it taking so long? This whole strong center of the universe falls completely apart, and it does it in two ways. It does it either, and a lot of this is in my mind, I don't dare say it, but who do you think you are to even question what I'm doing? Mind your own business. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 20 years. There's no reason for me to change the way I'm doing it. That's one of the ways I defend open-ended questions on what I'm doing. And the other one is, I was just trying to help. Oh, I'm not good at anything. Oh, I might as well just stop what I'm doing right now. So here's the center of the universe that has, depending on what day it is, and the person who's asking the question, I will either fall into this total, self-denigrating, self-hating, no confidence, fall apart, or I'll just get ticked off and get resentful and hostile. So over the past few years at the Abbey, I have become very acutely aware of this, because when you live in community and you are doing projects, inevitably with people helping you or people just going about their business during the course of the day, they're going to be seeing things that either in order to help you, or because they're curious, or because they just have some honest questions, that you're going to get a lot of suggestions and you're going to get a lot of feedback. And the self-centered thought, for me, puts me at such a place where I can't hear any of that. And I can always tell, because the flavor of my mind is, it's got a lot of anxiety, it's got either fear or anger in it, and my body gets, the heart starts beating fast and I start holding my breath. So one of the things that I'm finding that as I go through sort of my top 10 major afflicted states of mind that arise when the self-centered thought is in charge, I'm trying to slow myself down, particularly in the moment where the reaction is starting to happen, is to say, listen to what's being said. There's nothing wrong with this. They're just trying to help. I mean, there's a lot of things that I have had to start to train myself to tell myself, rather than it's none of my business, they don't trust what I'm doing, they think I'm incompetent, and who the heck do you think you are? So what I'm suggesting is that if you find yourself in relationship to the people in your life and to situations, if you find oversensitivity and defensiveness as part of your sort of a common thread that comes up anytime you participate with others, or you're doing a project or something at work or at home by yourself and somebody comes in and interacts with you, if it's this kind of defensive, either hostility or falling apart, take some time to just sit and get a reality check for yourself. Sit there and say, is what they're saying true? And is your response to what they're saying appropriate? Because the self-centered thought, the last thing it wants us to do is to sit down, take a moment, and think about what's going on in the body and what's going on in the mind. The self-centered thought exists completely on reactivity, not on responsivity. And so when you find yourself with that knee-jerk, quick reactivity, chances are the self-centered thought is in play, and the best way to disengage it is to just take a few minutes and sit down and do a body scan and do a mind scan and check yourself out and see how you're doing. Chances are you'll be able to, at that point, if you do it soon enough, you'll be able to counteract the self-centered thought without it then. What happens if you don't do that is then the monologue and the court, the whole courtroom sets up, then the prosecuting attorney comes in, the judge comes in, the jury comes in, and the whole chaotic mental state happens, because the self-centered thought wants to justify and find fault with the people who many times simply want to help you. So oversensitivity and defensiveness are, for me, one of the major causes of suffering in my life. It's one of the major causes where people are afraid to help me because they know that they're going to get some sort of response that's going to push them away. So try to give yourself some time to check in and see how you're doing, and if indeed the words that are coming towards you, are they of harm or are they of help? And by giving yourself time to check your body and mind, you will be able, with your own wisdom, understand the truth of that situation, and then be able to counteract any type of self-centered thoughts that would arise or want to explode in your mind.